grow, still can't stop it.
What is up? I am Crypto Mason, and welcome back to the Crypto Mason YouTube channel. Shout out to the Gold Squad. We look for gold in every single aspect of our lives, and we always find it. Now today, we are back for another daily market update. We will also have a bonus video going live later into the day, but we are here. We have a jam-packed daily market update. We're going to talk about XRP, HBAR, Cardano, Google, and what they are investing in the blockchain space. And we're going to talk the recent price action because we're seeing some interesting coins pump right now, and we actually do have some green across the market. So let's get into it. Before we do, make sure that you're following me on Twitter. Once we hit 150,000 followers on Twitter, we will be giving away 17,000 HBAR. I have promised that to the community. Also, make sure you join the Gold Squad Discord for free with the link in the description. Also, make sure you sign up for Binance with the link in the description. Greatest exchange out right now. So let's get into it. We do have the crypto market sitting at 820 billion. This is good. We have seen a bit of green. We had about a 5% Bitcoin pump. Right now, it's sitting at 1.31, 2.59% on Ethereum. We have BNB rallying way up. That's Binance, the Binance token. Now, the Binance token, you can kind of say that it is a reflection, like the price reflects how good the Binance exchange does. Binance coin is sort of heavily centralized. That is the truth. However, they are doing very well right now with a nice little 11% pump right there. Biggest gainer today is Dash. I'm not a fan of Dash. Honestly, not too big of a fan. Now, Solana, though, 12% up. What is happening? There's massive shorts interest in Solana right now. A lot of people are shorting it. However, it's up 12%. You know, so there might be some traps happening there trying to liquidate people. But Solana, I am not involved with Solana anymore. I could care less, or couldn't care less, to touch Solana at all. I probably never will again. There's really no point when I have things like HBAR and other coins like XRP. So here is the crypto bubbles on the day right here. Basically, everything in the green. Curve DAO is falling, still at 64 cents. I'm still a big fan of Curve DAO. I think it's a decent project there. But everything is in the green today. I love to see this. This is some positivity during this hard time in the market. So we're not even going to really check the charts today, like in terms of the trading view charts. Bitcoin's still at 16,000. Is this the bottom? Honestly, I don't think so. I swear that there's going to be one more big thing that happens to send Bitcoin even lower here. But we will see. Who knows? If this is the bottom, you know, you could be stacking your Bitcoin right now. So let's take a look at this Kanye West clip. We're going to start this, and this is going to set the tone for this whole video. So recently, Kanye West had his bank accounts frozen and everything. Now listen to what he says in this clip. Then we're going to get into some Bank of Japan stuff. Very important stuff. So take a look at this.
I went from being a multi-billionaire to not being able to use my Apple Pay. 4 nights ago, I couldn't use my Apple Pay because somehow Adidas was able to legally go in and freeze my money. And when I see this, I think, well, if this could happen to me, this could happen to other Americans. And for what?
So right there, we see Kanye as a billionaire, or as a former multi-billionaire, could not use his Apple Pay at all. Now, people in the comments of this have been saying, oh, poor Kanye can't use his Apple Pay. He's using that as an example of like a billionaire should have all the privilege to use Apple Pay, right? But they froze his money. That's the point here. They were able to legally go in and freeze his money. Very, very interesting. Crypto is the answer to this. And a lot of people in my comments were like, no, crypto's not the answer. But yes, it is, dude. There are blockchains where they cannot freeze your money, and you can send value across the earth for free instantly. There are blockchains that cannot be frozen, They can't just freeze it. The government can't do anything about it. They would have to shut off the internet, right? So Kanye, we are watching Kanye wake up to crypto live on camera. He's waking up and realizing the necessity of crypto. So speaking of actual coins that can be frozen, which are CBDCs, they can be frozen. The Bank of Japan is piloting a CBDC experiment for their digital yen right here. The crazy thing about this is that they are focusing this effort on offline payments. Okay, so they want the digital yen to be able to be used offline. So when the internet, without internet, so you can send a payment without internet. This is pretty crazy because debit cards probably don't work without internet, right? They need some kind of connection to make that transaction happen. However, possibly, I'm not actually sure on that, but cash for sure works without internet, right? So they're making sure the digital dollar in their country is able to work online. This is very, very important for things like the cyber pandemic. I still do believe the cyber pandemic is coming. Idiots ask me to predict a date. Any people predicting dates are pretty dumb, to be honest. Like, I cannot predict a date for a cyber pandemic, and I refrain from doing that because all the dates that people have predicted, especially in the XRP community, have been wrong. They've all been wrong up until this point because XRP has still not mooned, and you've predicted a bunch of moon dates, right? XRP has still, specifically I'm talking about the XRP community because they predict a lot of stuff, right? So I refrain from saying a date for the cyber pandemic. However, it's very evident that that is on the way. I will say this, once the corona pandemic goes away or feels like it's fully done, the cyber pandemic will start. That is when I think it will happen. So Bank of Japan, they're using 3 mega banks for this. They've partnered with 3 mega banks. This is actually not a good article right here. Let's take a look at the Cointelegraph article. The Reuters is lacking right there. So they are going with major private banks. This is bullish, for the banks, which I don't support CBDCs at all. But the point is they will happen anyways. So why don't we try to make some money and bring it to our side? I look at CBDCs as the other side. Crypto is our side, right? So let's move on. This is crazy. This is from Stefan. He says, funny how XRP is the only token Coinbase delists because of the SEC. So as soon as the SEC lawsuit came out against Ripple and XRP, they delisted and suspended trading on XRP. However, Tezos actually has had these type of lawsuits in 2017, and EOS also had this, but they are not delisted. Now, the thing here though is that some of these are settled, right? So this was 2017, and EOS is on its way. They've paid the fine and they've went on its way. But a lot of other coins have been accused of being securities indirectly by the SEC, and they have not been delisted. Moving on, we're going to watch this 2-minute clip from Truth Crumbs right here. This is crazy. So this is where the title of the video, I might have used that in the title, exposing murders, because there are some crazy stuff going on. This guy's going to tell you what he thinks about the banksters. This is a 2-minute clip. I do encourage you to stay until the end of this video because there's some valuable stuff we're going to get into. So take a look. We're going to watch this whole 2-minute clip and then we're going to talk about it. Here we go.
And there was another frivolous lawsuit of Ripple Labs by the U.S. government. It's, David, just to slow them down.
They're just kicking the can down the road. They're just slowing the pace.
Because the banksters are not ready. And I'm going to make a bold comment, and it's just in my own vernacular. The banksters are good at fraud and murder. They're not good at software engineering.
Yeah.
Okay, there are lots of precedents. Like Neil Keenan was murdered and replaced. He was all about the old bonds, the gold-backed bonds. They murder people left and right. They actually murdered somebody, a source of mine. They murdered a close friend of his in Europe, and it really shook up my friend. The banksters sued XRP and Ripple Labs in order to buy time, not so much to hold them back as to, well, it's two motives. One, to hold back the development of the Ripple Labs, but it didn't work because they're still working. And the other motive is to buy time in order for the banksters to develop something in a similar manner with the intellectual property so that they can match Ripple and say, we've got our own Ripple, we don't need your Ripple, but they failed. And now they're saying, we need your Ripple. We're going to make a deal with you. We're going to have a timetable. We're going to have a schedule. It's going to be 18 to 24 months. We've got a span of time, and it is our accord. It's proof that the banksters failed in developing a similar system to XRP, and the same thing happened with Reggie Middleton. They failed in developing the building blocks for the digital financial structures that include banks and bond markets and stock market. It's the whole works.
So in a sense, their fate is sealed.
So this is pretty crazy. A couple points on this. One of his main points is that they sued Ripple in order to slow down Ripple. Now, I've been yelling this from the top of the mountain for a very long time. One of the main reasons was to slow them down. Ripple was so far ahead and still is so far ahead. Ripple is using a digital asset to fix payments. Swift is not doing that. Bank of International Settlements not doing that. Nobody's doing that, and they are so far ahead. XRP has existed for 10 freaking years already, and Ripple. I think the banksters might have thought that Ripple was gonna fail, but then they pulled it off, right? That's what I really feel. And now they've sued them and got them tied up in this lawsuit, but it's not working, bro. Like he said, I agree, it's not working. Ripple continues to hire. They continue to build new apps, new products. XRP ledger growth is at an all-time high. ODL usage at an all-time high. They didn't slow down shit. And even if XRP and Ripple is not allowed to operate in the US, they will just move elsewhere and take over that part of the world. Now, a second point on what he said about the banksters, that they are only good at fraud and murder, and they are not good at software development or development in any way. Right? They have people that do that for them. The banksters are good at fraud and murder. I agree. And he actually exposed some names of people that got murdered, which is pretty damn crazy. Now, a couple points on what he said at the end about how the banksters, and, I would rope in like Swift with that. They have not built an alternative, and they have already failed. I would sort of disagree with this. Okay, SwiftGo is their alternative that they were working on building. This was it. Like, they slowed down Ripple and then they launched this SwiftGo, and they already have 200 plus banks signed up. Bank of China, Bank of Georgia, Bank of Shanghai, Bank of NY Mellon. All of these are signed up with SwiftGo, and we can see there's some confidential ones there, which is interesting. HSBC is there, Commercial Bank, Emirates. Like, there's a ton of different banks here. So that was one of the things I believe. SwiftGo is like kind of a competitor to Ripple. Project Nexus as well is changing cross-border payments. Bank of International Settlements, they launched this, right? This is like the rebuttal to what Ripple had. Also, we can see that Ripple's doing the exact same thing. Like, they just own different halves of this. Here's all the Ripple partners, right? They have like over 400 as well, right? Tons and tons of Ripple partners. This is a great website, by the way. rppl.info. You can view all the Ripple partners right here, and with the different sources, employees, everything. You can view them. So each of these things, like SwiftGo and then Ripple, they all have their own people signed up already. It's like they're trying to get their piece of the pie as fast as possible. So and then he mentioned Reggie Middleton, or someone like that, which I know nothing about. I will be transparent, but it seems like somebody was trying to build, or somebody built the infrastructure for all the banks and stuff, and the government and the banksters were behind, and then they had to adopt into that guy's system or whatever. Somebody educate me on him in the comments. I will do my own research as well. So moving on, interesting fact, Google has invested $1.56 billion into blockchain companies. Between September 2021 and June 2022, Google is also on the governing council of HBAR, okay? So they have 1.56 billion is a lot, right? So, and there's proof of this right here. They have invested 1.5. They're actually the biggest in terms of the most active investors. As we can see on this graph, we have Alphabet, BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, Samsung, Goldman Sachs. Alphabet is Google. Fireblocks, Dapper Labs, Voltage, and Digital Currency Group. They are nailing it. All of those are perfect, right? Those are great investments. Fireblocks, Dapper Labs, Voltage, and Digital Currency Group. BlackRock went with Anchorage Digital, FTX, which is now nothingness, and Circle. Very, very interesting what BlackRock funded. And then here you can see some of the other ones that are getting involved. So the big corporations are here, man. It's already infested. It's already infested. And Google is on that HBAR governing council as well. Speaking of HBAR, we do have a new project just launched called Locker Room. I saw this. This is not sponsored at all, but I saw this. It looked pretty cool. This is a sports app, or sports DApp, basically built on the HBAR, on the hash graph, on the HBAR network. And you can do sports NFTs here, and you basically build your locker room. I love the name of it there. It's free to join. There's collectibles. There you can trade. You can play as well. Very dope right there. So just showing you some more expansion on the HBAR network right there. Moving on, we did have somebody tweet out to Charles Hoskinson saying, I literally received a mail from a VC yesterday writing, we will not be investing into startups related to Cardano. It's a big joke. Okay, so the VCs, the venture capitalists, don't want to invest in anything related to Cardano. Charles rebutted this and said, I guess they'd rather deploy capital into Luna and FTX. That is what they're doing. There was a ton of VCs involved in Luna and FTX, and those VCs are extremely dumb because they got, these coins went to zero, basically. And then moving on to our last thing, we have Elon Musk actually doing some great research here and exposing this Semaphore company, which has a newsletter right here, and they are writing about Sam Bankman-Fried. Elon exposed them with some Crunchbase research. So Elon uses Crunchbase. Amazing. Elon posted this screenshot from Crunchbase showing that Sam Bankman-Fried funded and basically owns Semaphore. And then he calls them out and saying, this is a massive conflict of interest in your reporting. Journalistic integrity is trash. So Semaphore, you are over. Nobody will ever listen to your shit again. So that is all we've got for the Daily Market Update. Make sure you drop a like and comment. I love every single one of you. Join the Gold Squad Discord, and goodbye.
Please.